Soul Evolver, Damon here with Damon and Company. Technically inclined, creatively driven, I exist to inspire. I'm also your certified life coach with Pluripreneur, and this is an inspirational insight brought to you by Pluripreneur, powered by Damon and Company. So you see me here, I'm sitting behind the desk for this inspirational insight. I really like to get behind the screen on my iPhone and do these inspirational insights, but I kind of figured that, you know what, for this one, I want to be behind the desk because this topic is very important and I actually think it's going to help you based on what I'm seeing in the media. So the title of this inspirational insight is Us versus Them. Life coaches versus therapists. There really shouldn't be a competition, and are you confused about everything? I want this video to help you. So for me, it's tea time. Grab your favorite beverage, stick around. I've actually done a couple videos similar to this one, but I'm gonna provide a whole lot of context in this one that I think you will enjoy. Stay right there. Soul Evolver, first of all, why don't I just give you some context? I think it's time for me to do this type of a video because there's just so much information and misinformation in the media, and I would like to make sure that you are armed with the right data. I've been noticing this trend for a while, and it actually seems to be starting competition among life coaches and therapists, and it keeps a lot of people confused. Like, do I need a life coach? Do I need a therapist? Are there good therapists? Are there good life coaches? Life coaching is unregulated. There's just a lot of information out there, and if you're not careful, you will get both the good information and the misinformation. And I want to help you to navigate through that. But I would not be offering this video had I not saw a video that really triggered me to respond and give you some facts. So let me just do a little level set here. I was going out, following what I normally preach, hashtag be your best you. So I was following suit. I was out there just trying to, see what my other fellow life coaches are doing. And I put in some search words, for life coaches. And I was hoping to land on viewing some trends that I saw other life coaches were taking. But you know how that works. When you do a query and you do a search among social media or even in Google, you get some of what you're looking for and you get items that are on the periphery of what you are looking for. Well, the latter happened to me, as I'm sure it happens a lot to you as well. And what actually landed in my search results was a very good video, but it sort of triggered a response in me that's causing this video right now. So I think the intent was good. I'm not gonna name the video. I'm also not gonna name the person, but it was a therapist who was offering a video, and what she mentioned in the video is that one of her followers said, hey, what do you think about life coaches? I think it would be a good idea if you put a video out there about what you think about life coaches and is it a trend or not? So what the therapist did was put out the video, and what immediately caught my attention is what she said at the beginning. She mentioned, I have not personally worked with a life coach, but here is what I think about life coaches. And she mentioned that whether you're working with a life coach or you're working with a therapist, I think is a good idea because both professions can help you to lead a better life. 100% agree with that. But then she started to dissect, what you need to look out for when you intend on working with a life coach. Now, keep in mind, I'm already caught in the caveat that was mentioned at the beginning of the video that she has not worked with a life coach, but then started going down the path of telling you what you should look out for if you should decide to work with a life coach. And so she mentioned a couple things like, it's a good idea to work with a life coach who is certified, because anybody could call themselves a life coach. That actually really resonates with me, and it's one of the reasons why I decided to pursue my life coaching certification. Anything that I choose to thrive in, I want to make sure that I'm trained in it, so I'm a certified life coach. So I 100% agree with her on that. But what she went on to mention is when you look for a life coaches require, certified life coaches are required to have 300 to 500 hours of coaching, and that is absolutely false. I think what really triggered me to offer this video to you is because I see that type of a marketing technique a lot in the media. And keep in mind that I'm a brander. So I have another business called Damon and Company Creative. I'm familiar with branding and messaging. So what the message was is, I think life coaches are great. Should you use to work with a life coach, make sure your life coach is certified. The requirement for working with a life coach is 300 to 500 hours of coaching. And this is my advice that I'm offering to you as a therapist. So that was the message that was contained in that video. And so misinformation was sandwiched in between very valid information. Now, it's not that I take exception to her mentioning a coaching requirement. It's that the requirement is not accurate. And what you as a consumer may take out of that messaging is that in order for me to work with a good life coach, I need to work with someone who has this high requirement that the therapist just informed you about. So there's a lot I took out of that video, and it caused me to really want to put together this one. Life coaching versus therapy, there shouldn't be a competition, right? So that means what I'm thinking you really want as a consumer is, what is the real information? So if I'm going out there and I'm thinking about working with a therapist or a life coach, what is it that I should consider? And that's what I want to arm you with in this video right now. So it's the exact reason why I believe that life coaching and therapy should not be in competition at all. As a matter of fact, I would be honored to work with any therapist while that therapist focuses on therapy and I focus on life coaching. But as was demonstrated in the video that I'm mentioning, the therapist mentioned that she has never worked with a life coach, but then went on to inform you of what you should consider in life coaching. And I'm talking to this because I've directly had similar opportunities, and here is how I responded. And this is the exact reason why life coaching should not be in competition with therapy. Whenever I was helping a client navigate the right decision for them and what they should do when it comes to making certain decisions, what I did was really try to understand what the client needed. And when I did that, I leveraged that understanding based on data. So a lot of the data that you, Evolver, a lot of that data that what you're looking for, you're wanting to know, what is a therapist versus a life coach? It's just that simple, right? So let me break it down to you. A therapist focuses on your past trauma. So if you're going through an issue in life, if you find yourself depressed or anxious or sad, and it's related to some past event or trauma that you've gone through, some past relationships, some past occurrences, then you need to work with a therapist. A therapist is all about working with you to get over the past so you can live in the current state of existence that you're meant to live in. That's when you need a therapist. You need a life coach if you are sort of looking toward your future. You're at a crossroads in life. You don't have any emotional or mental issues that are preventing you from moving forward. All you have is a fear or a blocker. And I can directly relate to this. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I became a life coach. I was already life coaching before I became a certified life coach, and I was doing it based on experience. You know, a lot of times when you may get to a point in your life where you've just plateaued, you feel like you have exhausted options for moving forward. You feel like you've honestly reached a lot of goals that you had set for yourself, so you're now, what's next for me? You know, there probably is some new activity you want to get engaged in, but you're just fearful of what people will think of you or how people will respond to you. There's probably some project that you want to work on, and you're trying to just figure out how do you navigate and move things around in your life so that you can fit in the new project that you have in mind for yourself. So a life coach is all about helping you apply a systematic approach to stepping into the future that you're looking for. So with all of that being said, we should not be in competition at all. And I'm arming you with this information, Evolver, so that you would just simply have facts. And then honestly, you may be in a session one day and then you'll be able to tell, I think therapist, I need to work with a life coach. Or you may be in a session with the life coach and you'll be able to tell the difference between you having a blocker as it relates to you developing the future that you're searching for yourself. But here's the past trauma that really has me feeling down and depressed. And that's part of the issue that I'm having right now, right? So Evolver, that is the information that I wanted to arm you with right now. I hope this video really helped because, as I said, I really want you to understand the difference between life coaching and therapy. I also want you to understand when you're seeing the heavy competition that's playing out in the marketplace right now, there are a million apps that really try to grab your attention and say, hey, we have an app, you know, with all of these life coaches on it. And then you can search through and sift through all of those life coaches and figure out which one is right for you. Likewise, there are platforms now with therapists on them, and it's easy access to therapists, but sometimes all of that information is just simply too much information. And what I want to do in this video is arm you with the simple basics. Now, whether you're working with a therapist or a life coach, yes, by all means, you do have to perform your due diligence, right? So yes, your therapist may be certified, and your life coach, you'll need to do your due diligence and have your interview with your life coach and ask, hey, what certification program did you go through? And can you walk me through what that was for you? And what do you think you bring uniquely to life coaching, right? So the onus is on you to figure that out. But here I am arming you with that information as a life coach. So the onus is on you to really investigate if the professional that you are seeking is the right one for you. But honestly, this is no different than you going out, figuring out if you want to work with a lawyer or a doctor or a home builder or a realtor. You have to do your due diligence. Just because people are trained doesn't mean they are good or the right person for you. So Evolver, if you have any questions after watching this video, it's fine. I hope this at least got your cogs going in your brain to know how to make informed decisions, especially as it relates to, you know, whether or not you need a life coach or a therapist. But if I did not cover something in this video, feel free to drop a comment in the video somewhere. Sure, there's going to be, an area for you to leave a comment. If you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment with this video, it's fine. You can find me online at pluralpreneur.com, and you can reach me through my coaching website. And hey, just email me and we can get a conversation going so that I can make sure that you are armed with the facts to make the right decision. Evolver, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have more than this type of video available for you to see. There's several aspects of life I talk to, based on my own experience, whether it's, branding or finding your purpose in life or just moving forward. Check out some of the other videos that I have. And as always, I'm gonna leave you with this again. Be your best you, Evolver. XO.